Hello, I am Adalberto Cervantes Rodriguez. I am the creator of the ERP technology and business database technology that was stolen by SAP and Oracle, and it's used only by partners and clients that they have. Basically to do accounting and fiscal frauds all over the world. Today we're going to talk about identity theft that is mainly used in this that is mainly used in this sector, not only in the United States in the IT sector, but as well in other countries. I have experience in Mexico and United States as a third individual, and as the creator, as I said before, of the ERP technology and business database technology. Yesterday, for example, someone contacted me that today I might have an interview with a client. So immediately I called him, and he told me that someone else using my name was ready to have the interview. So you can imagine, I said, well, this is not the first time that it is happened, this situation. I have 4 other Indian companies reported to the FTC about identity theft. Even then I have reported that to the police and to the FTC and other agencies, as well as the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of State. They haven't done anything. This is what is happening right now. I think that these Indian companies, definitely most of their employees are coming from India. I will say more than 95%. I think that I don't know why the U.S. government is allowing to have this unfair competition of U.S. jobs in the States. So it's really strange, because all the IT sector, it's really important for a country. Okay, so in this case, if we don't have really a good control in our own country, you can imagine what happened with the programming and even the ERP technology or other programs that they are created, for example, for our health. Okay, so basically they have access to our social security numbers, personal data like addresses, age, and others. So even of our own families. I have noticed that some Indian companies, even they offer some credits, sending emails to a particular person. I'm pretty sure that they know even our credit scores. I don't know who, since 9/11, who give this kind of access. Also, I have an account. Let me tell you that I have to have an account in Federal Navy Credit Union, and because basically there is a security for military. My family, and basically the family of my wife has been U.S. military. So I have an account, but I think that these guys, they started to have access even at the military areas as well, in banks. So of course I think that the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers are involved in those situations, but we are easily targeted, even then we have a lot of protections. U.S. Bank and other U.S. Bank and others, simply you are totally targeted by these companies. As a matter of fact, when I was working in Siemens IT Solutions, I noticed on a lot of charges in my bank account. So I call the U.S. Bank and as well I have an account in Wachovia, and I reported to several ways, to several authorities, and what I can find out is that when I try to have detailed information of how the SAP was working in the US bank, I couldn't have that information. Okay, so I was really focused to have the algorithm that they were using to try to identify why they were doing a lot of charges, even having the money. So I have the money and I didn't supposed to have any charges. Okay, the systems in Mexico and United States are really different, so there are a lot of charges. For example, in the States that we usually don't have. We don't have that kind of situations in Mexico. For example, when you are doing a deposit in Mexico, in real time you have that amount of money available. In the States it's not happening like that. Also the commission are really too high in the States, when in Mexico you cannot make any withdrawal if you don't have the money, so you don't have any extra charge. Okay, so these differences between Mexico and United States makes the regular US bank to charge you a lot of money. So this is a real situation. Anyway, what I try to say is that I think that these ERP systems are allowing to have our private information and be sent to India. It might be to other countries as well, as Israel, what I know. And in the case of Mexico, I'm pretty sure that they are also targeting us using Secretaría de Gobernación, especially to identify our real estate properties, and even they can attack us to have those properties. I have two cases, one in Nashville, Tennessee, and another one in San Antonio, Texas. In both cases, I have two real estates, and basically related with this frauds that the Bush family is doing in United States. What I know as well, it might be that Universidad Panamericana and Deloitte in Mexico, of course related with Deloitte in the United States, participated directly in the 9/11 to the Jews community and also to the Opus Dei community. So it is extremely important to remark that Mexico has been related with the 9/11, besides all the other countries, especially the Israel, well, according to what we know at this time. My identity theft might be related as well, has some information that is given to these Mexican cartels, that they are targeting citizens to make this to make the sending money, okay, to Mexico. So they are doing with small amounts of money, but using all the Mexicans to explain that this money is legal when it's according to what it happens to me, it is not legal money. So I didn't want to be involved in that, so I just hide myself and not to talk with these guys. But there was an Argentine and there was a Mexican, so they are working several countries to make it easy to make this transfer to Mexico. So the identity theft is seems that is growing a lot, so they might have even our medical records. Right now, that Obama practically creates a program that nobody knows what happened with our private information. So I am really curious about this situation, but I will try to find out more details. But right now is what I know, and I'm telling you that I have been living. I know that I am a target individual, but if they have the systems to to do to use all these illegal situations. They might do it with whatever person or whatever citizen in the states. I think that it is important than you analyze, than your data is secure, but the most important part is to make sure that the companies, the vendor that you have, you have to be sure that they are real citizens with our permanent resident, but legally in the states, because in other way you cannot trust to maybe legal aliens or even foreigners that are coming to the states to do these frauds. I have several others, but I don't want to get into more detail because mainly it's done through these illegal aliens. So it's I think that it might be the same experience that you have, but in my case has a target individual, even it is related with projects that with people that is working under my name and using my documents or my own data. So it is incredible what is happening. It is reported to the U.S. authorities, and nothing happens. So thank you very much for listening me in this program, and be careful with your data about the use of because of the identity theft and the ERP technology and my business database can have your own data and use it wrong. Thank you very much. Bye.